friends, it's Amy at Doki Doki Forest. Welcome. I'm so glad you are here. Now you might be thinking, is this a new journal? Yes, it is. You're absolutely right. This is my new journal I've created for Winter Journal Challenge. This is the 2024 edition, and this is a journal challenge hosted by Kia over at Kia Creates. And I am so thrilled because Kia reached out to me as well as some other creators to ask us if we would like to participate in the challenge and pick prompts and make pages and share with you. And of course I said yes. I was so thrilled, excited, appreciative of being asked, and I wanted to make a journal just for this challenge. So today I am going to be sharing with you the title pages that I created, and we're going to talk a little more about the challenge. So let's get into it. I'll show you how I made the cover, and then we'll get into the title pages. And grab a cup of something, relax, and let's spend a little time together. So I wanted to create a special journal just for this challenge using an Amazon mailer bag and some things from around the house that I had just to decorate with to get it started. So while I'm working on that, I'll tell you more about this challenge. This is a really fun challenge. Kia comes up with really cool ideas. I participated in her Halloween journal challenge, which I loved. I was not a creator for that challenge. I just jumped in, and anyone can jump in and do these prompts. But this is my first time being invited as a creator for like a big collab like this. So very, very exciting. And I love this one because, sometimes holiday time can get really busy. And if you take on a challenge that's like a daily or a weekly, or, it could just be too much, And the thing I love about this is that Kia has one prompt every 3 days, and you can feel free to, do as much or as little with them as you want. You don't have to do all the prompts, of course. And the other thing I love is that this is the Seasonal Sensations Edition. So 2024 is all about the sights, the sounds, the smells, like how do you experience this holiday time? Whatever holiday you're celebrating, whether it's Christmas, or it's Yule, or it's Hanukkah, or Kwanzaa, what does this look like to you and feel like and smell like? And that's just so fun because you can think about what you associate with these senses and then have fun seeing what somebody else experiences. So, you may have a particular smell that reminds you of Christmas, maybe pine or something like that, and someone else could have something completely different. It could be the smell of something cooking or, and these can be associated with all different memories that we've created. So you never know what's going to happen when you start diving into these prompts. Now, these are going to be my trees that go on the cover. And this cardboard that I'm using is just like the inside part of, when you get like a box of wine and it has those dividers inside. That's what this piece is. So I just grabbed it and started throwing some paint on, some ink on, a little bit of green there to represent the lichen, because there is still some green here and there when you look at the trees, even though it's winter. You still see some of that nourishing lichen, right? Because I think that can sustain the deer when it's a really harsh time out there. And that's just some iridescent ink that I threw on there, and I like how it makes a little bit of a texture. Now, this journal challenge is a little bit different for me because, usually I find out about a journaling challenge. I'm really excited to dive in and do it, but I often start like halfway through when the challenge is going, or sometimes even after it's done, and I just sort of, get it done when I can, but usually late. So this is a first for me. I'm actually, early and on time. And that's kind of exciting. I don't usually do that, but I'm really excited to be like going into December and like ready to go, exploring and creating a journal. And you can see me here just getting my X-Acto knife and cutting some tree-ish shapes. And I realized that this was actually so thin I didn't really need an X-Acto knife. I could just use, scissors if I wanted to. Now here's all the info about the prompts, and I just basically glued it down onto this painty paper. And actually it's just drop paper, like paper that I put underneath when I'm painting my painty paper. So that paper is actually just what catches the extra paint that runs off the edges and stuff. But I like the look of it. It reminds me of moss, and that's what I'm going for because we are in the forest, and I'm going to put together this accordion style book, and this book will be part of my title page, and the book will contain the rules, that's quote-unquote rules, for the challenge, and the creators that participated, and the note from Kia, and of course the prompts and the questions that go with the prompts. So I wanted all of that info to go with my title page, so that way when I look at this in the future, I can remember all of this. So I didn't really plan out how I was doing this accordion style book. When I glued those pages on the paper, I wasn't really planning it out, so I wound up putting it together kind of willy-nilly, but it works. We got a foldable book, a little washi, a little extra paper, and you can kind of make anything work. And then I realized I wanted to grunge this up because I do want it to look like it's been sitting in the forest waiting for you to find it. So I'm just taking some of this green stamp ink and I'm trying to do the edges but also take out anything that was like too white. Like some of this painty paper didn't really have much paint. So I just want everything to sort of have the same general greenish tone and not a stark white. Then I found these little stickers to embellish the book with. They almost look like ink stamps. Then I decided this is a magical book. So let's make it a little more magical. We're going to jazz it up with some gold paint. And I like that combo of like foresty and natural and also magical. And this magical book needs a magical little tuck spot here. So we're going to make a little tree. So you're walking through the forest and you come across this tree that has a little hollow. And you're going to reach in and pull out the magical book. So first I just used a regular old piece of paper. It's just a little bit of a thicker paper and glued on the pockets. And then over it, I'm gluing this drop cloth, which was a paper that I had on my desk. And when I was painting that cover that you saw, the Amazon bag, when I would have like extra paint on the roller, I just rolled it off onto that brown paper, which is also packaging. And that's going to be the little tree. And you'll see more on that at the end. It's not done yet, but you'll see it at the end. You'll see it finished. And then I'm just checking, got to make sure that, I didn't glue it so tight or, glue in too much. I got to make sure that pocket can actually fit our little magical book. So now we're going to work on the title page, and I'm going to make a little character. This is a red squirrel that you see sitting up in the branches as you go to reach for the magical book. So let's think for a minute about the question that goes with this title page prompt. And the prompt that we have from Kia for this title page prompt is, what are your intentions going into this fun and festive challenge? Now that word intention, what does that mean? Well, your intention is kind of like your focus, right? Like, what are you focusing on right now? What is the one thing you really want to work on? What is your priority? And, what do you need more of? That sort of a thing where, you think about this time of year and it's very busy. And a lot of times it's like, go, 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 there's to-do lists. There might be shopping, there might be baking, there might be traveling, there might be, a bunch of different kids projects or traditions that you want to make sure you do because you've done them every year. So you get that checklist or bucket list of things you want to do, or maybe there's a special show you want to go see this time of year, a holiday show, or there's just so much you could be doing. But what's the thing that you want to do? What's the thing that you want to make sure that you carve out time for? So for me, my intention going into this winter challenge is to create, to spend time focusing on creating. And that for me is very calming. It's very good for my mental health to slow down and create. This is something that I can do that's just for me, and you can do. It's just for you. And it doesn't have to be anything, massive or spectacular. You want to keep it, so that it's just something fun. And that's what I want to do. Just something fun, something I enjoy doing. There may be some cards maybe you want to make to send out and stuff, something that you feel like you like doing it, but it's more like you have to do. But your art is just for you and what you enjoy doing, what relaxes you. That can be gluing images down and making a collage. It doesn't even have to make sense. Maybe you want to glue a chaotic collage. That might just help if you're dealing with a lot and things feel out of control. It's nice to have a place where you can go and create, and that is in your control, to some degree. There's always things that go a little wonky when we create, and accidents and mistakes, quote unquote mistakes, but you just roll with it. When you're creating, just go with it. It doesn't matter. Don't be harsh on yourself. This is just time to slow down and relax and kind of take a break from the holiday rush. So that's what I'm thinking of. That's my intention, is to enjoy this creative time and have fun and play and just make sure I take that time that's just for me. And the other thing too is that with these prompts that focus on the senses, it really makes you think about the holiday and what's really important. If you think about the smells and the sights and the sounds, that's like the nostalgia stuff that's really good. Okay, so let's see. What am I doing here? I've added the title, Winter Journal Challenge 2024. So it's always good to have a title on the title page, right? And then I'm using some more of that paper that I used to make the trees on the cover. I'm using it to make branches for this little squirrel to hang out in. I'm just moving them around, trying to make sure I place them in a way where I can still open and close the page without the branches, poking into the middle and making it difficult. I like when they stick out the top, though. That I like. And then once I have the branches on, I can finally glue our squirrel on. And I got to make sure I don't cover up the words at the top. That little Santa pom-pom keeps trying to cover up those words. So we got to move it around until we find just the right spot. And I'm just using tacky glue to glue this stuff down. I find that works really well. You just have to give it some time to dry. I'm going in with my white gel pen now, and I want to remember my intention. So this is my title page, but I do want to remember my intention, but I want it to be, not that it's secretive, don't mind the glue there. Not that it's secretive, but you have to kind of look for it. So I wrote focus, fun, and create on the branches. Okay, so the cover and title page are done. So let me just show you what I didn't show you in the process part of the video. With these little scrappy pieces here, I could just rip those off. Those don't really need to be there. But yeah, so you saw me do the trees, and oh, I didn't show, this is a blue ink that I added, just a few drips of, because I thought if it was all just white, you kind of lose some of the snowy texture. So I added a couple of drops of blue ink and rolled it, and then I added some glitter. I just sprinkled it on there. I used some modeling paste to simulate snow and a snowbank at the bottom here, and again, just some glitter in there just to try to catch the light. I like things to be shiny and shimmery. And then I just put a little bit on some of the branches, like there's just a little bit of snowfall on there. So we're going into the woods, and then when you go in, you see a tree, and there's something poking out of the tree. And you also see a little owl in there, peeking out of the little hole in the tree. And this idea was definitely inspired by Harmony over at Harmony's Creations. She had a journal. She did it a little bit different, but it was so cool. So one of the journals that she made and sold, the page looked like a tree, and she had used all this kind of packaging to make a few different holes like in the tree. And then through it, you could see magazine images of little faces, animal faces. I think it was like a raccoon and an owl, and then you turn the page and you would basically turn the tree part of the page, and then you would have like the animal page here. I just thought that was so cool. So I took inspiration. It's not exactly the same thing because it's not a page. I just built it right here, and I built a pocket into the tree, but I loved how she made that hole with the animal peeking through. So I painted a little owl to be peeking through, and then you reach in. You see this little heart charm, and you reach in and pull out this book, and you turn it the right way around so you can look at it. And I just have this little bit of yarn here, the heart charm, and then on the back there's just some leaves and some jewels there, some little gems. And then you untie the string, and we can unfold our accordion book, and you can get all of the info about the challenge. So you have all of the collaborators here, all the creators here, the rules, the seasonal sensations, prompt list, the other creators participating, and then here are the questions. And then we have a little page with an owl stamp and some birds here, and then the note from Kia. And then it closes up like this, and you kind of just fold that flap, and then you can just tie it closed again. So you can check for your prompts, and then you can make a page if you want. So there is where you will find the prompt list and all of that. And then on this side, we have our title page. They're both basically the title page because these are all the prompts here on this side. And then here is like the welcome you in, and, you know, welcome to the journal with Winter Journal Collage. Nope, Winter Journal Challenge 2024. The intention, we're going to focus, have fun, and create. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I want to know if you are planning to participate in this challenge. Let me know. I definitely want to check it out if you're doing this along with us. And thank you so much to Kia for the challenge. I will have her channel down below. She is probably going to do a playlist, so I will include that down below as well. Definitely look up the hashtag, and then you will find the other creators that are participating. And yeah, let's all inspire each other and just have a lot of fun with this challenge. And yeah, thanks Kia for inviting me. I am really excited to be here. I hope you all have an awesome day. Really enjoyed this time hanging out with you, and I will see you again soon.